Hey there! In today's video, we are diving deep into three key HTML elements: meta, headings, and paragraph. I have got examples to make it crystal clear. Ever wondered what the lang attribute in the HTML tag does? I have got you covered. Plus, I have got some game-changing VS Code extensions and handy shortcuts that will level up your coding journey. Ready? Let's get started. If you want to master full stack web development, then click subscribe and the bell icon. And let's do this together. Let's quickly create a new folder, name it HTML-tutorial or whatever you want. It should be meaningful. Right click on the folder and from the context menu, select Open with Code. In the VS Code File Explorer, click the plus icon or right click New File, name it meta-h-p.html and press enter. In the Code tab, put an exclamation character and click the one with emit abbreviation, and that will generate a boilerplate code for you, saving you some time. Go to View and click Word Wrap to show the code inside this window. Let me first enable screencast mode by pressing Ctrl-Shift-P or F1 to open the command palette and selecting Toggle Screencast Mode from the drop-down. This will show you where I click and the keys I type. I will include a link in description where you can download all the shortcut keys for VS Code. Now you need to install two VS Code extensions at this moment so that you can get a little more help while coding. So click the extensions button or press the shortcut key Ctrl-Shift-X to open extensions. Now for the first extension, type Live Preview and install the extension by Microsoft, which provides a dynamic and real-time preview of your code as you edit it. With this extension, you can see instant updates to your HTML, CSS and JavaScript code without having to manually refresh the browser. It essentially creates a synchronized connection between your code editor and the browser, allowing you to visualize changes instantly. While Live Preview is a fantastic tool, you also need to check your page on the browser, typically on several browsers. To open a page directly from VS Code into a browser, search for Open in Browser and install the extension by Teacher. I have installed both the extensions in my VS Code editor. Note that you can also double-click on your HTML document to open it in your default browser, or right-click and open with another browser. The third extension I would recommend is vscode-icons by vscode-icons team. I am already using it. It's also a popular extension that replaces the default file and folder icons with a set of easily recognizable icons, making it easier for developers to identify and navigate through their project files and folders in the File Explorer. You should try this. Now, while I have already discussed most of the code in my previous video, here I will be covering the new code. For example, the lang attribute in HTML tag is used to declare the primary language for the content of the document, helping browsers, other software, and search engines identify and process the text correctly. So, you should always include the lang attribute inside the HTML tag. you can also include country codes within the lang attribute alongside the language code. The initial two characters specify the language of the web page, while the last two characters specify the country. For instance, to specify English as the language and United States as the country, you can write EN-US in the lang attribute like this. Let's discuss the meta element. Meta element is used to provide metadata or information about the HTML document by specifying the character set, keywords, page description, author of the document, and viewport settings. For example, for a web browser to display an HTML page correctly, it needs to know the character set used in the page. This meta element here sets the character encoding of the document to UTF-8, which is a widely used encoding that can represent almost all characters in the world. Using UTF-8 helps ensure proper display of text regardless of the language or character set of the user's device. According to the HTML5 specification, UTF-8 is the default character set for HTML documents. This means that if you do not specify a character set in your HTML document, it will be assumed to be UTF-8. The next meta tag tells the browser how to render the web page, look good and function well on different devices. The width equals to device-width part sets the width of the viewport or visible area of the browser to the width of the device screen. It ensures that the content will be displayed without any horizontal scrolling. The initial-scale equals to 1.0 part sets the initial zoom level to 1.0 when the page is first loaded by the browser, which means that there is no initial zoom and the content will be displayed as its natural size. So this meta tag is a common practice in making web pages responsive and mobile friendly. Let's add a new meta tag. This meta tag is specifying keywords related to the content of the web page. In this example, the keywords are web development training and Android app development training. Search engines may use these keywords to index and understand the content of the page, which can impact SEO. Let's add another meta tag. In this case, it is specifying a description for the web page, stating that it offers the best web development training. This description can be used by search engines. It's a common practice for improving SEO. Let's add one more meta tag. In this example, it specifies the author of the web page as Sandip Bhattacharya. This information can be utilized by browsers, search engines, and other web services to understand who created the document. Note that while this data won't appear on the page itself, it is used by browsers, search engines, and other web services. All meta information should be placed inside the head element of an HTML document. As you already know from the previous tutorial, the visible part of the HTML document is between the opening body tag and the closing body tag. Let's discuss about HTML heading tags. In HTML5, heading tags are used to define headings or subheadings within a document, and they play a crucial role in structuring content. The heading tags range from H1 to H6, where H1 represents the most important or main heading and H6 represents the least important or subheading. Headings are block level elements, meaning they start on a new line, take up the full width of their container, and adds top and bottom margins. Let's quickly type H1 and P tags. H1, type this is a heading 1, type P, some text under the H1, full stop. Now let me show you some magic. Copy these two lines and press Shift Alt down arrow key 5 times to copy these two lines 5 times below. To copy the selected lines above, use the up arrow key with Shift Alt. Now let me quickly change the header tags from H2 to H6. View the outcome by clicking the Show Preview button. Save the file and right-click anywhere in the Code tab and select Open in Browser to observe how heading tags and paragraphs appear in a browser. Press Ctrl S to save the file. Right-click, Open in default browser. As you can see, the H1 tag has the highest font size and boldness, and H6 has the lowest, even smaller than the default font size of a paragraph, which is 16 pixels in most browsers. Browsers automatically add some white space or margin before and after a heading. Note that it's important to use heading tags in a hierarchical order, with H1 representing the main topic or section, followed by H2 for subsections, and so on. Users often read the headings on a page to get a quick overview of the content, so it is important to use headings to show the document structure. This also helps browsers and assistive technologies or screen readers understand the structure and hierarchy of the content. Proper use of heading tags also contributes to better SEO by providing semantic meaning to the page structure. Changing the font of a heading tag using CSS is common and perfectly acceptable practice. In fact, it is one of the most common ways to style headings on web pages, and we will discuss that in our CSS tutorial later. Now let's discuss HTML paragraph tag. We have used the paragraph tag in this example. Here I will explain everything you should know about this paragraph tag. The HTML paragraph tag is used to define a paragraph of text. Like heading tags, p tag is also a block level element, meaning they start on a new line, take up the full width of their container, and add some top and bottom margins. Paragraphs are the most common type of text element on the web pages, and they are used to convey the main content of a page. Just like heading tags, you can change the styling of paragraph tags using CSS, which is our topic of discussion in our CSS tutorial later on. To use the HTML paragraph tag, simply place the text of your paragraph inside the opening and closing p tags as we did in this example. So, whenever you want to present information in a clear and orderly fashion, the p tag is your go-to friend. There is a number of reasons why paragraph tags are important. They help with SEO. Screen readers use paragraph tags to understand the structure of your web page. Paragraphs break up text into manageable chunks, making it easier for readers to scan and understand. Just like header tags, you can also use CSS to style your paragraphs. For example, you can change the font size, font color, and text alignment of your paragraphs using CSS. We will go into that later in our CSS tutorial. Now, if your code gets messed up like this and you can't find anyone to blame, just right-click anywhere in the code and select Format Document. Either click Format Document or press Shift-Alt-F to format the code. That's all for this lecture. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy coding, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. If you find this tutorial useful, please like and share the video and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this.